Welcome to Salento with love, and welcome to Palazzo Corigliano. Now, over 2 years ago, I did a video showing this very special construction, building, palazzo, wherever you like to call it, in the heart of one of my favorite towns of Salento, right next to a castle, right opposite an amazing church. And through that video, I described the town and I described the building. Hello, welcome to Salento with love. I'm Davide Mengoli and I want to walk through the house with you. But before we walk through this majestic palazzo, which is a little bit more than just a house, in one of the most picturesque towns here in Salento, I would like to give you a little bit of a background. This town goes back more than 1,000 years. There are incredible monuments that I would like to show you just in a very quick scan through the town to understand really the energy that comes when you are buying or when you actually have a property here in Salento. When I saw this building a few months ago, I decided to do a feasibility study and to inject a little bit of my design into this. I called this building Corigliano, and the reason why I called it Corigliano or Palazzo Corigliano is because the town Corigliano, some people think that comes from heart. Some other people think it comes from core in Greek, which means village. Probably more the second one, but I like the heart. So I call this Palazzo Corigliano. And with that in mind, I created a feasibility study. So I'm not going to let you in this, because if you like to know more, just email me and I will actually send you the whole study. But we did some renders of what this beautiful palazzo could actually look like once it gets fully restored. And to give you an idea on, oh look, these are the details that I was telling you about on the balcony. Probably easier to see it over there. But just to give you an idea, we are looking at the floor plan of the building. So we have our ground floor where we've just walked in from the street right now, and then we have these rooms on the side and a beautiful secret garden. So let me show you. And also, probably this picture of the town helps you to understand. This is the castle. This is where we walked through, the old town center. That's the square that we saw earlier, and that's the church with the mosaics in. And this is the church that stands right opposite the building. And this is the building right over there, so on the edge of the old town centre. So what can we say about the building? Let's walk through. So we just walked through the main entrance, and then we have another room here which leads to the exterior. Should we have a look at the garden and then we go and have a look at the other floors? So first of all, to have a house in town and to have a garden, it's a huge plus. Well, 2 years later, I will say, let's do it. It's time to donate and return the life back to Palazzo Corigliano. So work has commenced, and I can't wait to bring you inside and show you right from the embryonic stage how a building like this can return to life, and how a building like this can return the beauty back to life. So are you ready for the journey? Palazzo Corigliano starts here, and I just love the idea of having you on board, joining me on this amazing journey. Day one. I just couldn't wait really for the word go on this building here. Well, let's say I've been waiting for a long while, and today it's happening. Now, when you start a refurbishment, where do you want to really start? Well, top is the answer. You really want to start from the roof and work your way down. Now, it's true that the first phase, which is what I call the distraction, the demolishing, it's something that needs to be done, but always starting from the roof. So as you're starting up here, loads of people are involved, and first thing to do is to clean. And why cleaning? Well, because really doing the maintenance to the roof terrace, the maintenance, it's really what's going to preserve your beautiful star-shaped ceilings. It's what's going to preserve your walls from getting infiltrations. And these buildings here, when I turn the camera around and I'll show you, haven't done any or haven't received any maintenance for probably 40-50 years. So the first thing you want to do, clean up the stone, expose the joints, and then start sealing all the joints. And this is the first thing. We'll also have up here somebody today specializing in asbestos, because these buildings, they do have, thank God, not a lot, but they do have the presence of asbestos. You see it just up here on this roof. There's also some elements of asbestos in the garden area. So bringing somebody on site to work out what's the best way of removing it and what's the best way of disposing it and doing it legally. You'll see these stairs were made of an interesting marble, but you know, there is always room for improvement. So one of the jobs that is getting done is actually stripping these stairs back to the cement from when they were built, and then we'll see what happens to them. But it's amazing. Look at this. So these are the stairs. Isn't it fantastic? Look, he's taking the steps out. Some of them are breaking off, they can be recycled, but we're an amazing job. And this is actually all the way up. This gives you an idea of how many stairs. We are removing. Let's keep going. This continues all the way up onto the roof, and then I think we'll leave these amazing spaces for future videos. Yes, I definitely think that the first phase of stepping on site is very much related to demolishing, also getting rid of the things that they've seen their time and you want to move on and you want to introduce your own touch and your own design and your own desire as well. And that's exactly what's happening to this building. Well, this is a large building, so you've got to make sure right from the word go that you have your ideas very clear in mind for what you want to do. I think it's time to go up. Ecco. Mamma mia, mio, qua sopra che bello! So I'm really up at the top, really high, 6 meters up. I'm touching a star-shaped ceiling. This is like a surgeon, really, opening the true environment. So I'm up here with the master, sono con il maestro qua sopra. We've seen him now doing some incredible things. Now you may think this is just pure demolition, but it's not. Alcuni potrebbero pensare che questa è pura demolizione, però no, questo bisogna farlo con attenzione.
Sì, è pericoloso.
First of all, it's dangerous. So you have to know exactly which part you're removing, and you need to do it delicately, because it's true that this wall really is just closing the two environments, but it's also a supporting wall. So you really describe, and you really need to determine, not describe, you really need to determine this through the demolition process. So these walls were built simultaneously while they were building the star-shaped ceilings. They were building these walls in between, which they went all the way onto the roof terrace. Well, in this particular case, the first floor above. But the walls were interwoven, so they're actually all together. So removing this is not really a structural wall, but you just have to make sure that there's not big pieces dropping out in the middle. So it's got to be done delicately. Ti lascio qua sopra, continua con questo lavoro fantastico. So next time we'll come. This is only day 3, and it's incredible the amount of progress that is actually happening here. So we've got plenty of time to get to know each other. If you've just joined the channel, Well, I don't just do this. I go from the consultation. This purchase was done remotely. It was actually chosen remotely. People acquired it remotely, and we're actually managing the whole process of refurbishment remotely. So we'll have plenty of time to explain the dynamics of doing a refurbishment of this size. This is a large building with a beautiful courtyard, and I think what a better way of wrapping up this amazing start to Palazzo Corigliano from a garden that has lemon trees and nectarine that go back 60, 70 years. Elements of history like this. This is an original stomple. You know what this is? This is probably more than 200 years old, maybe 300 years old. It's incredible. This is where they used to crush the grain and make flour. But you could see that in the video that I did 2 years ago when I walked through this building, and 2 years later I'm walking through the building, and I'm going to be here right to the end until that ribbon it's cut. So until then, I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Palazzo Corigliano. So much more to come through, and all I can say is I'm grateful to every one of you who has joined the channel over the last few years. Every one of you is supportive of remote purchasing, and every one of you who has become part of this amazing family. So until the second episode gets done, what can I say? Subscribe to the channel, press the little bell. Palazzo Corigliano is coming back with a lot of excitement on episode 2, but let's leave it until then. Until then, stay safe wherever you are.